Okay, grazie a tutti. Thank you for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be here. Shall I do this standing up or sitting down? I don't know.
As you wish.
It looks a bit like an Apple presentation. There's no new iPhone or nothing like that. This is about Soundreef, the company I work for, and I'm going to talk to you about royalties and technology, two things which have been not often put together, but which, as you'll see, from now on should be and will be. So, first of all, let me see. There we are. All right. Okay. What is Soundreef? Soundreef collects, and what do? We collect, manage, and pay out royalties to right holders, artists, authors, publishers. And what do? We base our systems on technology, and we are bringing technology into play when it comes to paying out royalties. This is something very important which wasn't always present in the music industry, and our three core values are monitor and analyze each use of an artist's music and pay effectively for every single use. What does that mean? That means that every time your music is used, we will pay you. Not considering other types of divisions or any other consideration. The only point is when your music is used, you should be paid. And you should be paid quickly. So this is the core value and mission of Soundreef. But let's think about your music. You're a band, you're starting out to play, and think of how many ways music is used. You listen to music on Spotify when you're going to work. You listen to music while you're watching TV. You hear it on a show. You listen to music in a club. All of these ways, and there are many more than this, and as a band, you would ask yourself, or as an artist, how do I keep trace? How do I know exactly when my music is played? The problem is, you will know it when you're playing it, when you're playing yourself with a band. You know that you're playing your music. You know that your music is being played on Radio 1 if you get a big break, because for sure you'll be plugging it. But you won't know if your music is played in a different country, if it's played in a shopping center. So, this is the point. You have to empower musicians and pay them accordingly so that they know how their music is going, where it's working. Imagine you are a company and you're selling a product and you don't know where that product is going and who's buying it. You couldn't imagine it in a different industry, would you? But somehow in music, this has become expected. It's expected for artists not to know where their music is being used. Soundreef is about changing things and making this the exact opposite. So let's go into detail and bring some good news regarding this innovation. So first thing, new technology is available to help musicians, and that's what we are doing, what we're using. Second of all, the EU has introduced freedom of choice. These are two very important factors which are changing the music industry. Let's talk about our history and how technology played out in our history. Soundreef was founded in 2011, and it started out in a niche of the music industry. Why a niche? Because you have to start to build a product bit by bit, but making sure that you're going towards the customer's needs. And that's exactly what we did with In-Store Music. If you think of every time you walk in a shop and you hear a song, we thought that that music must be traced and played to the right holder. So that is exactly what we did. We went to all these in-store radios and we started feeding their music into our systems. They were playing music by our right holders, and we were paying the exact author and publisher of a song. And every author and publisher in their own accounts knows when their music is playing, where it is playing, and how much they earned, how much the license cost. So this was the very beginning of Soundreef in 2011. Then in 2014, we brought the we started with our live service. what we do what anybody would expect to be done. We brought a digital set list into play. What is a digital set list? When your music is played in a club or you're at a live event and you're playing your song, you don't have to write the songs that you're playing on a piece of paper, but you'd use a digital set list. So this guarantees that when you're drinking your Moscow Mule or your vodka tonic at the end of the show, you're not writing on a piece of paper, but you can do it the next day on your phone or on your computer, which is exactly what we would expect to be in 2016 in technology-wise in the industry. A new service that we're launching, and we've been working on for the past 2 years, is our radio and TV service. What is this about? Basically, we trace every major TV channel and radio channel through our systems, and we can find out exactly when your music is being played. Imagine a sort of Shazam of all these radio channels. And we will pay you for every single use. This is something which has never been done in the industry. Many different broadcasters are buying our licenses because from the 1st of January 2017, they will need a Soundreef license to play our music. And they are mesmerized when we're telling them there is no flat fee. You will pay exactly according to what songs of our catalog are being played. And they go, well, we're used to playing flat fees and we don't know where that money goes. Why can't it always be like that? Well, that's the question that we've been asking ourselves for many years. So this is a very important change. And mind you, it's important for a small artist to find out when he gets that break on TV. But it's important for a major artist, and you might have heard some top artists which have chosen to use Soundreef instead of the local collecting society. And for them, it's also important because they're used to having their music played so much on TV and on the radio that they don't even figure out where it's being played. But they can do that from their account, from their Soundreef account. They know exactly when and where it's being played. And the internet. Online use of music, everything is digital right now. Digital yuppies, digital music. So, and you can say many different things about the big broadcasters of the internet. I said broadcasters, but they're not actually broadcasters. But you can say many different things about YouTube, Spotify, and whatever. But there's one thing you can't say. You can't say that they don't give you information. They don't allow you to access information, because they do. It's very simple, via APIs. And this information has always been there. So there's no excuse not to put right holders and empower them, allowing them to know when their music is being played. So this, I've been saying a few times the word when their music is being played. You must think that I'm sort of exaggerating the point. But if you talk to an upcoming artist or even a professional artist, that is the very core point of the whole thing. And that is why we emphasize this point so much. Now, let's go back to what I said before. I said there's two important good innovation aspects in the music industry regarding royalties. One was technology. The other one is the EU directive called Barnier, which basically says three things, mainly. First of all, musicians are free to assign their rights to whichever collecting society they choose. So they can choose to, independently from where they live, they can choose to assign their rights to any collecting society. Second, from 2014, the Barnier Directive says that private companies, as long as collective management organizations, can manage rights for right holders. So that is independent management entities, which is exactly what Soundreef is, and that is why Soundreef is operating in more than 20 countries. And third, existing collecting management organizations cannot have a monopoly in their country, because according to the EU rules, every company residing in another country is free to sell or buy services within the EU. These are very important aspects which are helping the system change. And if you think about it, and I'm slowly coming to the end, 5.5 billion euro market is the size of the music royalty market. So let me just let that sink in. 5.5 billion euro market. Can you think of one single industry which has had zero innovation in the past 20 years? One. Music royalties. That is the only one, because it's a boring argument. It is. I mean, you're interested, but not that interested. It's boring to talk about royalties and music rights. So it's not something that grabs the attention. That's why that market has gone undercover, and the fact that 5.5 billion market with zero innovation has been allowed to happen. If you consider what I said before of how music is changing, and you've probably seen loads of videos online of how formats went from vinyl to cassette to a CD to download to streaming and now vinyl again, okay? That's the path of the music. So the sales have been dropping, and the revenue stream for an artist is basically live, the music he sells at live events, and royalties. So we have declining sales, but we have a growing royalty market. And innovation is key in this market to make sure that music is sustainable for small, big, and very successful acts. And just to put it into perspective, the accounting on average of our artist, an artist who plays regularly live and has music on radio and TV can earn anywhere between 20K to 50K a year in music royalties if every single use is analytical. So whenever you hear the story that CDs are not selling anymore, true. Download numbers are down, true. But the industry is growing. Simply, it's changing the format and the way that music is being used and consumed. So three main points I said before, and then this is the closing point of Soundreef. We account and pay everything 100% analytically, which is what I said. We account and pay very quickly, and all transactions are traceable online. That is what you expect for your bank account, and is what an artist should expect from his collecting society. We have, you've probably heard about quite a lot in the news in Italy recently. We now have 20,000 artists worldwide. We have 9,000 authors in Italy and publishers. We are very proud of it, and we will continue working and developing to grow and to help our artists. Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.